Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Digimon Adventure 2020, episodes 22 and 23, because we are behind due to last week's entire thing. So we got two episodes to get to today, and last we left off, they were about to step into the turtle's head after defeating the cracked out Garurumon clone thing. I think its name was like Splashmon or something. Something weird and like just non-connected to its design like that. But it's like it looks like a cracked out Garurumon. But they defeated it. It was a tough battle. And at the end, Takeru, who had snuck into this hole in the ground, saved a turtle from behind a cage, and then they walked in its head, which apparently is the path to getting into the fortress, I guess. Or the tower, or whatever it is. Because overall, they're trying to get the Digitama, the Digi-Egg, back from the Knight dude, whose name I can't think of right now. But yeah, so we got two episodes to go here. I don't know anything about what's to come in them. I don't know if we're going to get Patamon back, well, the egg for Patamon back yet. But we'll just have to see. Because we're leading to some interesting things here, I feel. And there's a lot of potential for where this is going to go. But I also feel like they should probably start wrapping up this arc soon. Unless this entire series is just going to be nothing but this arc, which would be like 66 episodes just for the Devimon arc, feels a bit much. But at the same time, if they go too far, then it's like the next arc's going to have less time to really bloom, you know? Like, unless they do plan on continuing the series after these 66 episodes, I don't know. We'll have to see. But it's like, because there's supposed to be 3 arcs in the original Digimon. In the original Digimon Adventure, which this is a reboot of. I'm just wondering, like, if they're taking this long on the Devimon arc, how are they going to... They're going to have to rush through Myotismon if they are going to get to the Digimon Emperors, or whatever they're called. It's just... Jeez. I don't know. I just feel like the Myotismon arc should be the longest one. And I'm worried that that's not going to be the case. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say going into this. I don't know what to expect from these episodes, so we're just going to get started. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episodes. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Yeah, this is not what I expected for a number of reasons. As I said in the reaction, I felt like we got into this earlier than I expected, based on where we were going and what we were doing at the moment. But I also felt like it just kind of happened. Like, we had this big old battle against Skull Knightmon, who eventually digivolved into Dark Knightmon. They eventually managed to defeat him. And then all of a sudden, Devimon. All right. And it's like we're getting the final battle against Devimon just right now. I mean, again, as I said, in terms of the timing of the episode count, it works. Like, it makes sense that it'd be around this time. But at the same time, it also feels like it just kind of happened. Like, we've had all this big stuff that's, of course, built up Devimon. But I felt like there was going to be a bigger build-up to the actual final battle. I don't know. And plus, having 2 big major battles back-to-back just feels... I don't know, it feels like a lot. I don't know, maybe that's just me. It's not bad. I'm not saying that these episodes were bad for it, or that even the choice to do this was necessarily bad. Because the execution of it, I think, is what saved it. It's just the fact that it happened really threw me off. But the execution of it did save it, and it really made it feel special and new. Because, like I said, in the original series, I believe it was that Devimon was proving too powerful for them. They didn't have their ultimates at this time, mind you, in the original. So they only had their champions. Devimon, who was also a champion level, was too powerful for them. So Patamon, who had not been able to digivolve up to that point, and keep in mind, in the original series, Takiru was with them from the beginning rather than joining later on. But Patamon, who was not able to digivolve to that point, finally digivolves into Angemon, and that is what turns the tide and wins them the battle against Devimon. Which makes sense. The Holy Digimon, Angemon, is the one to defeat Devimon. Yeah, that just checks out. Um, but in this one, they do it much differently. Not only do we not have Angemon, but the Digitama just hatched to Poyomon, and Poyomon did manage to become Tokomon, but that's it. And Tokomon hasn't done anything in this battle. Instead, like, we have this battle against Devimon, and Devimon, in order to keep that kind of threat level valid, even though he's a champion and they still have their ultimates, we have this entire plot point about him siphoning energy from the real world and using it to power himself up, which is a great plot point, by the way. I like that. Um, and he even uses it to Digivolve, which, again, I do not think that ever happened in the original. I might be wrong, but I am like 99% sure that did not happen. Because I don't even remember Neo Devimon. Its design is cool and I like it, but it's not reminiscent to me. Um, but Neo Devimon they're completely outmatched at this point. Neo Devimon, with all the power it's gotten, destroys them, because even though it's an ultimate the same as them, it still has all that power it siphoned from the real world. So it's still so much stronger than our heroes. However, we see at this point that the rest of the Digidest and the rest of the Chosen Ones are actually helping, and that by destroying the obelisk after taking out Calamaramon, it actually not only just stops the siphoning of the energy, it actually directly weakens Devimon, or Neo Devimon now, which allows our heroes the chance to defeat him. However, Dark Knightmon at this point reappears and uses the crystal that had been siphoning the energy to allow for one final evolution for Neo Devimon. We're going to the Mega level, and that means one of two things is going to have to happen. Either we are going to have Angemon return and buff up our heroes again, or we're going to have okay, one of a couple things, not just two specifically, but or we're going to have the return of Omnimon, which is very much possible, I think. And or the final option I see is that we are going to get a Mega here. That we're either going to get War Greymon or Metal Garurumon. Which, honestly, I'm a little wary about. I think that should be saved at this point until the Myotis Monarch, the next arc. But I also think that it would kind of fit here, just for the stakes of it all. So if they do it, I only want it to be one of them. I don't want both of them to get their Mega Evolutions right here. And if it's going to be one of them, honestly, it's going to be Tai. If only one of them is going to get it, it's going to be Tai. I would be very surprised if it was Yamato. If we got Metal Garurumon before War Greymon. That would just really surprise me, even with the deep connection in this arc with Matt and Takeru. Still, though, I think the more reasonable option here is that we're going to get Omnimon again. And maybe we'll get Angemon who will help power up Omnimon even further. But that's a big maybe. Because I don't know if Tokomon could do that, or even if he goes into Patamon, I don't know if he could do that at that stage. I don't know. But either way, I think Omnimon is the most likely because that's kind of what this we've been seeing this arc. Every time we get to an enemy that's just too strong, that's just too powerful, that's when we get Omnimon. And again, I actually do like how they're handling Omnimon in this series, in this reboot. How yes, he's there right from the beginning, which is very different from the original, but he only appears at the most dire of moments. They're only able to uh, DNA digivolve into Omnimon at the toughest, most desperate of battles, and I like that. I think that's a good way to handle it if you're gonna have Omnimon more often and well this early on. Um, the only other option I think would be again to get Angemon to come back and then Angemon to be the one to do it. But I don't know. I just feel like doing like just a bunch of Digivolutions just right in a row for the Patamon line. It's just going to be like wee a little too much right from the start. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know what the mega level. I didn't know about Neo Devimon, so I don't know what the mega level's gonna be. So that's going to be interesting. I'm very excited about this because, like I said, even though just the fact that we did get into this Devimon fight really quickly and really suddenly, the execution did save it. And so far, it's like it's just that vastly interesting and that vastly exciting for where it's going to head now. Because I'm into it now. I'm invested. The way it was executed invested me into this fight, and it's fantastic. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is all resolved here. And what about Dark Knightmon? Is Dark Knightmon going to escape after this, or are they going to be able to take him down too? That's a big question on top of it. Maybe we'll get Omnimon to fight the Mega Level Devimon, but we'll also get Angemon or something to take on Dark Knightmon. Maybe. That's just a idea. It seems like it'd be a little bit much, maybe, again, to bring on Angemon again already. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Because if Dark Knightmon escapes, that's going to be interesting to see how they integrate him into the future, especially with Myotismon. Um, and I'm not saying that they couldn't; they very well could. I'm just saying it would be a very interesting decision. But we'll see. We'll see. Either way, this arc so far, with everything that's going around, the Devimon arc and all of that, I like how they've built up to Devimon. You only see him in the shadows, or at one point you see his like face, and not even the full face. But now we finally get to him, and when you see him in all of his glory at this point, you know like this is the big deal at this point. This is the true reveal of Devimon. Um, but I've liked how they're handling that. And honestly, some people I've seen have had issues with the arc, like with the pacing of everything. You know, like bringing the champions and the ultimates really quickly and everything, and then how it's kind of slowed down into these like series of big high stakes battles afterwards. I've seen some people complain about this and all, but I actually like it. Honestly, this feels like Digimon, but also feels new and refreshing, and it's still good. It's still written well. It's still, honestly, in my opinion, paced fine. And the action is great. The character moments are great. I enjoy it. It's definitely different from the original. And that's fine. It doesn't have to be the same as the original. In fact, I'd rather it be different. I'd rather it stand out. So that way it's not just a mindless, just completely boring copy of the Adventure 01 series. I don't like it when a reboot or a remake is just too by the books and doesn't change anything. Like even the Higurashi remake, it's very, very much a lot of the same story beats and whatnot, but it's still changing just enough to keep it interesting, changing just enough to make sure it's something new and refreshing. Plus, the fact that it basically confirmed in episode two that it's not a general reboot, that it's actually continuation, and they're just going through the same story beats. They're going through the same loops as before. That is really interesting, and I'm really excited to see where that goes. But the only other thing to really discuss here with these two episodes of Digimon is the upgrade thing. I've heard a couple different ideas of what this could mean. Some people are saying it's like the what was it called? It was something I never got to. Like I never got as far in the series to actually see that kind of stuff. I can't remember what it was called. It was some like upgraded form of Digimon that they could take. I don't think it was called X. Maybe it was. It was like called X virus or something like that. I don't know. But it was some kind of thing that would like upgrade them to a different version of themselves and of their forms and all. Um, I know I learned about them for the first time actually when I was doing that favorite Digimon list, and I was looking up all the Digimon that were released by that point. So it's like I know I saw what they were called. I just can't think of it. But yeah, some people are saying it's that. Some people are saying other things, and it's like I don't know. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say, especially since I don't know about that stuff as much. But also because it's like just the way it's being brought in is just I don't know. Because even where Garurumons in this episode, it was I swear it was brought in a different way than Metal Greymons was. So I don't know. I don't know exactly how this is working. Because where Garurumon kind of brought it in himself. It's just kind of like willpower, kind of forced it to happen. But Metal Greymon, it wasn't like that. It was after everything that had already happened and everything with the miasma and whatnot. I don't know. I don't know. Um, we'll see. We'll see if that's expanded on and explained in the future. In the meantime, tell me what you thought of these episodes of Digimon Adventure 2020, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See you all next time.